I will just make some comments, in 5 minutes, some more provocations, so I did some in my previous presentation, so I will add some more provocations, actually provoked by the discussion, so that's fine, because the discussion, what I hear, is quite inspiring. One is that we haven't talked too much about the purposes of institutions, organizations, social forms, whatever, which is, I think, a key point. And that was, when we talked at the beginning about the design of institutions, we should have a look at the purposes of institutions, how institutions, organizations, companies, whatever, and how they evolve with time, because the purposes evolve by themselves, whether we are conscious or not about that. We can write the purposes on stone, but after that, the organization lives in an ecosystem, and depending on the rules of that ecosystem, it has to adapt its purposes to those rules. And in particular, we were talking yesterday that no company can survive without multidimensional purposes, not only looking at the financial profitability. And we are all the time mixing between ends and means in that case, because of course financial viability is a mean to get the organization alive, but the way the markets are organized today, many times it becomes the purpose. So it's to substitute the rest of the purposes, which will, as we said yesterday, finish in the death of the organization. So we have another gridlock there. And the second point is that the purposes and the rules are not only in what we say explicitly, are not only in the laws, which are stated explicitly. They are so many times in the way we frame what we say, in the words we use. Words are not neutral at all. So, for instance, we are concerned with environment, etc., and as you said, Emile, it's a very good point. We have this fantasy of omnipotence so strong in ourselves that what we say is, if we are concerned about the environment, is that we are going to kill the planet. No, sorry, we are committing suicide. The planet will be there. Life will continue. Bacteria will continue after us. So we are not able to kill the planet. So that's fortunately, yes. So that's just an example of how the words we use in the sentence we form with words are not neutral. And I must confess that I have a lot of problems with the word capital, because I think capital is basically connecting what we try to do with the past. If you look at the etymology of capital, it reminds of two meanings. One is the meaning of the head of something, the prominent part of something, or capital city. The second one is the cattle, the ownership of livestock. In both cases, in both meanings, there is a very clear, almost not implicit, explicit meaning of power and control. That we can have power and control, which is, in my view, another fantasy. And we can control, and for instance, that the capital, in the sense of livestock, the meaning is clear, that we domesticate animals for our own purposes, basically to kill them and feed them. But that will be less and less possible to do that, to pretend that we are in control. The more we advance, and I cannot agree more with the comment by Stefan about life sciences, the more we advance in life sciences, the more we know, the less we know. So the concepts we used to have are no longer valid. Now we start to understand that plants may have memory. That life is much more complex than we expected. That right now I should be talking to the brain in your guts at this time, because there is also a brain in our guts. So maybe we are just creators of our bacteria, but we are living in a fiction that we are in control. No, we cannot. So, of course, coming back to, and that's to end the point of the proposal is point on power and the impossibility of power and control. one could ask, okay, what is the purpose of society? Is there a purpose of life except keeping life going? Maybe there could be a purpose of conscious life, of human life, because yes, we have this difference. Well, not so different. One of the things we learn is that many animals have consciousness. So again, we are not unique in that. But okay, we can make things that not many animals can do. Okay, that seems clear. What could be the purpose of our life? Still an open question, and I finish with this because I want to pay a tribute to, I said words are not neutral, so one of the things we have to do is probably to invent new words. And I used one in my presentation, which I didn't have time to comment, which is semathesis. Semathesis is a word invented by, I said we have to hear new voices. That's a word invented by Nora Bateson, who is I would say she's a philosopher, but actually she probably would label herself if with something as an artist. But she says basically that we have to try new concepts to transmit the idea that, for instance, living and learning, there is no difference between living and learning, and we are not individuals. We have to rethink the self. We are ecosystems in dynamic equilibrium with our bacteria, with the billions of bacteria we have inside, and in permanent interaction with the rest of other humans, nature, etc. So probably the concept of the self itself as a separate entity doesn't make much sense, and we have to think, and this semathesis concept is that the entity formed by interactions, through interactions, and mutual learning. So, thank you.